A typical Huntsville home sale takes about 80 to 90 days from the day you list until the day you close. Some homes sell faster, some take much longer. But if you're planning a move, assuming your house will sell and close within a few weeks can create a serious timing problem. I'm Steve Stinson with Keller Williams Realty. I've been helping people move across the Tennessee Valley since 2005. If you're considering a move, schedule your complimentary strategy call. A short conversation can save you time, money, and help you make better decisions. The link is in the description. The biggest mistake sellers make is looking only at days on market. There are actually two separate clocks involved in selling your home. The first clock starts when your home goes on the market and ends when you accept an offer. In the current Huntsville market, that stage commonly takes around 30 to 60 days. The second clock starts after you accept the offer. That's when the buyer completes inspections, financing, the appraisal, title work, underwriting, and the other steps required to reach closing. With a financed buyer, that part of the process normally takes another 30 to 45 days. So if your home takes 40 days to go under contract and the buyer needs 35 days to close, your total selling timeline is about 75 days. That's why most Huntsville sellers should plan on roughly 60 to 105 days from listing to closing. Could your home sell in the first week? Absolutely. But that's not the timeline I would use when planning where you'll live next, when your movers will arrive, or when you'll close on another home. The Huntsville market is still active, but buyers have more choices than they had a few years ago. Inventory has increased. Buyers are comparing more resale homes. They're also comparing those homes against new construction offering fresh finishes, warranties, closing cost assistance, and sometimes mortgage rate incentives. That competition matters. A buyer may like your home, but they're also looking at what else they can purchase for a similar monthly payment. They're comparing condition, updates, location, commute time, repair costs, and seller concessions. That means two similar homes in the same neighborhood can have completely different results. One may receive an offer in 10 days, the other may sit for 3 months. The difference usually comes down to four things. The first is price. Price has the greatest influence on how long your home takes to sell. Buyers don't determine value based on what you paid, what you spent on improvements, or how much you need from the sale. They compare your home with the other choices available to them right now. That includes active listings, recent sales, pending homes, new construction, and properties offering better terms. The first 10 to 14 days on the market are especially important. That's when your listing is new and the most motivated buyers are paying attention. When a home is priced too high during that opening window, buyers often don't make a low offer, they simply move on. Once that early attention is lost, the listing can become harder to revive. A price reduction may help later, but it usually doesn't recreate the same excitement the home could have received when it first came on the market. The second factor is presentation. Your home doesn't have to be perfect. It does need to feel clean, bright, cared for, and easy for a buyer to imagine living in. That starts before anyone schedules a showing. The first showing happens online. Buyers look at the photos, the room sizes, the floor plan, the condition, and the overall feel of the property before they decide whether it deserves an in-person visit. Dark rooms, cluttered counters, poor photographs, overgrown landscaping, or unfinished repairs can reduce showing activity before a buyer ever reaches the front door. Simple preparation can make a meaningful difference. Clean thoroughly, reduce clutter, touch up damaged paint, replace burned-out light bulbs, improve the front entrance. Pressure wash where needed. Take care of the smaller issues that make buyers wonder whether larger problems have also been neglected. The third factor is condition. A home can sell with an older roof, worn flooring, dated finishes, or repair needs. But those issues must be handled honestly through either preparation or pricing. Ignoring a known problem and hoping buyers won't notice usually doesn't work. Buyers notice aging, heating, and cooling systems. They notice moisture stains, peeling paint, damaged flooring, and older fixtures. Even when they're willing to accept those items, they're going to consider the cost and inconvenience when deciding what to offer. The more uncertainty a buyer feels, the more likely they are to hesitate, negotiate harder, or choose another home. The fourth factor is access. A buyer can't purchase a home they can't get inside to see. Restrictive showing schedules can quietly add weeks to your selling timeline. Most buyers look at several homes during one trip. If your home isn't available when they're already in the area, they may not come back later. You still need reasonable notice and boundaries, especially if you're living in the property. But within those limits, making the home easy to show gives you more opportunities to receive an offer. Once you accept an offer, you move into the contract to closing stage. This is where some sellers mistakenly believe the hard part is over. The home inspection may lead to repair requests or negotiations. The buyer's lender may order an appraisal. The property must appraise well enough to support the loan. The lender must approve the buyer's income, assets, credit, and financing. The closing attorney must complete title work, obtain payoff information, prepare documents, and coordinate the closing. Any issue during those steps can affect the timing. A cash buyer may be able to close in 1 or 2 weeks, depending on the circumstances, but most financed purchases need substantially more time. That's why your moving plan needs some flexibility. Don't schedule everything around the assumption that the first estimated closing date can't change. Here's the simplest way to plan your Huntsville home sale. First, start preparing before you're ready to put the home on the market. You may need time for repairs, cleaning, decluttering, photography, and pricing research. Second, build your moving plan around a realistic 60 to 105-day selling window, rather than assuming the home will close immediately. Third, get clear about your pricing, likely proceeds, and next housing plan before the listing goes live. That may involve coordinating the sale with another purchase, arranging temporary housing, negotiating possession after closing, or deciding whether you need to sell before buying. Waiting until you receive an offer to figure out those details can create unnecessary pressure. The goal isn't just to sell quickly, it's to sell on a timeline that supports the rest of your move while protecting your negotiating position. When the home is prepared correctly, priced for the current competition, marketed professionally, and easy to show, you give yourself the best chance of attracting a serious buyer without sacrificing the result just to save a few days. If you're thinking about selling, buying, relocating, or downsizing in the Huntsville area, this is where a short conversation can save you a lot of time and guesswork. Schedule your 20-minute strategy call using the link in the description. And before you choose your asking price, watch the next video about how to price a Huntsville home correctly from the beginning. Pricing is the single biggest factor in how quickly your home sells, and getting it wrong during the first 2 weeks can cost you both time and money. Hey, if you're not planning a move right now, share this video with someone who is. I'm sure they'll find it helpful, and I'd be glad to help them make a wise move too.